Hi guys, it's Vicki Adams again. We're entering week 2 of pre-algebra. So I hope week 1 went smoothly, and so we're going to start off with reviewing a few things. First thing is translating expressions. So translating simply means changing it from one form to the other. Same way when you translate from English to Spanish or Spanish to English. We're going to translate from English to math or from math to English. Expressions refers to when you have numbers, variables, and operations. If it has an equal sign, it's not an expression. So an equal sign means it's an equation, which we'll talk about that as well. So we're talking about expressions and translating them. So let's start with an example. I've written one right there. Okay, so obviously that is an algebraic or mathematical expression, I should say. Mathematical because it has numbers. 16 minus 9. And that's just how we would say it in words. We would say 16 minus 9. Trying to get it to focus. So 16 minus 9 would be how you would translate it. That's not the only way you could say it. You could also say the difference between 16 and 9. Difference. So the difference is the answer of a subtraction problem. Another example would be this expression here. Remember that we use the dot now for multiplication instead of the x, because as we get into pre-algebra and algebra, the x is a variable and it means something totally different. So we don't want to confuse the x with the multiplication symbol, so we use the dot for multiplication. So we could say this is 5 times 2. And we think about other ways we could say this. We could also say multiply 5 and 2. So these are or. You don't have to use both of these. You could use one or the other, but it shows you there's a couple different ways to translate expressions. We'll do one more here. So we have a 2 in parentheses, a 3 in parentheses, and a 4 in parentheses. Parentheses is also another way of saying multiplication. If there is no operation in between these parentheses, multiplication is our default operation. In other words, we assume it to be multiplication. What this one here means is 2 times 3 times 4. You're just multiplying the 2 and the 3 and the 4. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. So the answer to this one would be 24. Okay? But the expression or the translation would be 2 times 3 times 4, putting this mathematical sentence into an English sentence, understanding what it means.